So, good morning, party people. It's your host, Matt Morgan. How's everybody doing today? You're listening to Car Musings, yes, and it's another fun morning. And I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Sorry, I'm out of it today. I've, a little bit of change of pace, change of scenery, and dealing with the usual madness that is the morning. So, bear with me as I get my bearings, if you would. All right. So, where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? So where we're at is getting into the fall season. I don't know which neck of the woods you're in, but from where I'm at, it's getting a little colder. It's been an interesting week so far, but let's get into a few things first. Hey, how's your integrity? How you been? Please check out themadmorgan.com. Yes, themadmorgan.com for more information on all our shows and articles and all that fun stuff. So this week, I went with my psychologist, which is a little goodness for the health. You know, it's good to have somebody to talk to, work stuff out. It doesn't mean you're crazy, it just means you are invested in your life. I find that if you actually talk to a health professional mentally or physically or whatever, it's important to keep on this. Keep tabs on your health. A lot of people take it for granted, and you shouldn't. Your health is the driving factor which keeps you moving forward. And so that's the thing. You really have to make sure that that's maintained and it's checked and it's oiled and everything else. And um, it's important. So visit your doctors or get some doctors or maintain your health if you are lacking in your diet and lacking in your actual physical exercise. It's important. I'm just saying, it's important. Keep on top of it. So I met my psychologist this week, and that was interesting. I basically arranged a test. I said during the last meeting, I said, I think I have ADHD or something like that because I start projects and don't finish them off. I'd have to say one of the projects that's I've been successful at moving forward with to some entirety would definitely be this podcast, Car Musings, only because I've been pretty good about being consistent with it. I don't know what I can say about that one, but there's other projects that I've started that kind of fell to the wayside. So I was kind of wondering. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I have ADHD or something of the attention deficit to be able to keep up with all this stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, hang on, let's get it checked out by a professional. So he ran me through some tests and everything else, and no, turns out I'm normal. I'm not on the spectrum or anything else. I'm normal. No hyper this, no tension this, no. I think there's 3 points he brought up, and he's like, no, you're basically on the normal scale. So I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, because frankly, I know some people on cocktails that do pretty good in life. I, you know, part of me was kind of like not looking for an easy way out, but part of me was like, maybe there is something. Maybe there is something. But turns out there's nothing. Nope, just me. Just me and not keeping attentive to things and keeping focused on stuff. So I have to make points because I have some good projects on the go. I have some really good projects on the go that, frankly, I would love to see to completion, especially with my current financial situation, which you can help out, by the way, at themadmorgan.com, yeah, if you're so inclined and you want to be the Robin Hood and help me out. Yeah, so that was an interesting meeting. And don't get me wrong, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. I was kind of hoping I could just have a magic pill like some people seem to have to basically be able to cope, but no, I just have to struggle through it. Of which doing what I can. So I continued on with one of my projects a little further, which is good. Um, AI influencer, because that seems to be something that's being done. I I'm running out of runway, so to speak, waiting for you know people to be generous and kind and one way or another with either helping me out with a financial gift or offering me a job or anything along those lines. I'm running out of resources and I'm running out of patience with this because you know fuck, it's one of those things. I mean, I can sit around my thumb up my ass, but that's not going to make a difference. So I got to do something. So I'm looking at projects. I'm looking at all the stuff. I'm looking at making money online opportunities, and it's what I'm so confident something's going to pan out. I'm so confident something's going to pan out. I'm like excited about that. I'm excited about that. That I want to turn on one of these methods of making money, and one of them's going to hit like a friggin' oil well, like a geyser, and I'm going to be back in black, so to speak. That is going to be nice. I am looking forward to being back in black, just like the song goes, because I want that peace of mind. I want to be able to go, okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm good. I'm on track. I have a buffer. I have some money. I can pay the bills, keep the roof over the head. So I'm looking forward to being back in that position where I could be like, okay, I can breathe better now because I'm back in that, which would be good. And that's where I'm looking to be back at. But I got a few, as I said, a few projects, a few things, and AI influencer is one of them. I have a few online businesses for selling information, electronic e-goods or whatever you call them. So I'm looking forward to that as well, in a different bunch of areas. I'm not sure which is going to be the better of the evils, but I'm hoping that one of them is going to pan. And I think what the thing is that I want to ethically do this. I want to ethically be uh, selling products that are valid. Like I don't want to exploit anybody. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm ripping off people. So anything that I sell, I want to make sure that I'm doing it on an ethical basis. I mean, for my own self at the end of the day. My own self at the end of the day, I need to be able to sleep with a clear conscience. So, I'm looking at this going, yeah, okay. So where's the harm on this one? I'm not exploiting anybody. I'm not, selling people cheap garbage from China. Like, I'm not doing any of that part of it. So that's the nice thing. I mean, it's nice to be able to be in a position where, um, you know, I can clearly say I'm good. Anyways, the AI influencer one is a lot of work. It really was. I really, really am happy with so far with the process. It's been learning, it's been educational. A lot of work though that goes into that structure build up, especially if you're dealing with a certain amount of resources. And yeah, I don't know. That one I'm hoping more so because of the amount of effort and time and learning and collaboration and everything else I had to do, because I've been working alongside with one of the LLMs, large language models, for those that are aware of the abbreviations, and I'm working with ChatGPT side by side with putting all this together, and it's been quite the process, and it's been interesting. I mean, you're ignorant if you don't try to understand this technology of AI. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be more and more in your lives, whether you want to hide your head in the sand or not. It's there. So you know, seize the opportunities. I'd say do what you can to learn it. If not for something now, if not for like a business, if not for anything like that, doing it just so you can have a better understanding, so you're not literally getting caught with your pants down, wondering how shit works, because you'll have a better idea of how shit works. Because hey, you took the time to actually go, oh yeah, that's how that works. It's I like it because honestly, AI is logical, right? And I'm logic minded, so it's kind of nice to be able to work with something that's logic based and not stupidity based. It's just wonderful, for my opinion. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to. If any of you wanted a state of the nation on how Matt Bergen's doing, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just rolling with the punches and trying to keep my head above water and stuff like that. A lot of changes in the news. I don't know if anybody's been focusing on that, but it's crazy because you don't know what news to believe anymore. Back again to AI because of all the renderings and the realistic portrayals of reality. It's interesting. But I think a point that was brought up to me recently is that the world is very much capitalistic. So because it's such based around capitalism, um, you know, I don't think this Cold War mentality of mutually assured destruction is something to worry about, right? I think it's the world's too money focused. These countries are too power focused, money focused. It's not like the same mentality as like back in the 50s. I think it's more of I want this resource, this money, this land grab, this that, this blah 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 blah. Not a sense of honor, not a sense of properness, not a sense of anything like that. Just strictly, I want what you have and I'm going to come take it. You know, and everybody's so caught up in all this bullshit of misinformation, and it's really difficult to figure out what to believe anymore. I think it's scary in some regards because some of the stuff is so well done. You sit there and you start panicking, and it's like you got to remember the 1% the superpowers want you to be scared because that way they can control you. So my advice, as I said in one of my previous episodes, is just do your homework. That's about it. Find out what's valid. But learn. One of the biggest problems we have is ignorance. One of the biggest problems in the world is ignorance. If more people were educated, we have less of all this crap. We'd have less crime. We'd have less of violence. We'd have less poverty. We'd have a less of all the problems that plague the planet if people learned. If people weren't so stupid. Yeah, that's ignorance, stupidity. The ignorance of not understanding how things work, and being logical and being kind and empathetic. I mean, if you're not any of those, like, ignorance teaches you nothing. Ignorance is basically you don't want to learn because you think you know better, but you don't. You're ignorant. You're stupid. You're an idiot. You are friggin' you're lint. You serve no purpose, especially if you're going to be arrogant enough to not want to learn and be better than what you are. So that's the thing. Yeah, you should learn. Go learn some shit. Do yourself a favor. Do the world a favor. Just saying. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a crazy week. I like to keep my household in order. I'm hoping everything can get back on track as the end of the fiscal year or the end of the calendar year comes to a close. Oh yeah, I mean, hell, so many things on the go, and it just goes to prove that in time everything works out. You just have to be patient. You just have to keep persevering. I mean, I started more so taking care of the health because there's nothing else I got going on right now. While I'm trying to sort out everything else, I'm working on, of course, keeping myself balanced. But started the Wegovy. Yeah, I did. You get objections on one side of the fence versus the other. Um, got a new dermatologist. Blah blah blah. I mean, it's a lot of things I've been doing recently, which is great because unfortunately I have to do this stuff because of, again, the arrogance, ignorance of the planet, of people. Because the thing is that in my whole job hunt situation and income situation, even in when I've managed to get to the interview level, I'm getting judged. Like, holy crap! Here's my experience. Here's my knowledge. This is everything I can do for your company. You know, this is where I'm coming from. Blah, 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 blah. So I give them all this stuff like that and sell them on this stuff. And then all of a sudden, they turn around and they interview me. And they're like, oh, you're fat. You don't take care of yourself. You're a slob. Blah, blah. All these like childish premonitions, like body shaming. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious right now? Since when does my weight have any factor? I am one of the most agile 270-pound persons you could possibly meet. I can get under a desk. I can get into tight spaces. I can do all that shit. It's not limiting me what I can do. Anyways, so that's the other thing I started thinking about. I'm like, okay, so there's this, and then even if I get any further, I got judgment from this, and it's just like, fuck this. I got to do something. And that, again, as I said, taking care of your health, whether it's your mind or whether or not it's your body. It's as far as your mental and your physical go. You need to maintain that. You really do. You need to keep on top of that, because the thing is that when you got nothing else, that's what you got. So keep it in check. That's what you got to do. You got to keep it in check, and I recommend it. So yeah, that's why I'm saying it's gonna pop in the right direction soon, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, I'm just babbling at this point. What else can I say about the world right now? What else can I say about this, that, and everything else? It's a day-to-day process, my friends. It's a day-to-day process. You just have to roll with the punches and do what you can. I don't know if this is going to be a blah X4, but maybe it is, because I really had nothing to bring to the table today other than just a general update as to what's going on and where I'm at. And I mean, hey, as much as I love bringing you this information and talking your ear off on these car musings, who knows if the podcast will ever, you know, actually take off. And actually, what's interesting about that is recently I was looking at previous podcasts that I've done over the years, and some of them actually got some good numbers. So I think, like anything, it's just a matter of time and patience. Eventually, as they say, if you plant a seed, something shall grow. So if you do your podcast, you're planting that seed, and you can try to force it to grow, or you could just let it grow naturally. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just letting it grow naturally. I'm just like, you know what? I'm doing this, getting it out there. You know, people listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't. At the end of the day, if I've reached out to anybody with anything in my podcasts, and I'm hoping it made a positive change in their lives, then great. Then it was worth it. It was so worth it. Being able to reach somebody and change them for the better is what it's after. That is what I want to do. That was my whole mission when I started doing podcasts. If I could reach out and touch someone, so to speak, and make a difference in their lives, either enlighten them with knowledge, or lighten their spirit, make them smile, make them happy, empower them. That was my goal since day one years ago, to basically contribute in a positive way. It's been at my expense, but I love doing it because it's something that I'm passionate about. It's something I enjoy doing, helping people. So, hell, if I've done that, even at the small amount, I'm good with it. So it works for me. That's about it. I'm hoping next episode I'll have more for you. This is probably going to be an X4 blah, or blah X4, because I'm a little all over the place. I got a few, you know, what's a few irons in the fire or something like that, and I'm gonna have something to give you once I actually see the results of my efforts. But so far, I figure if I can get at least two of the projects that I've had on the go done, I'll be laughing. I'll be laughing, hopefully, that it actually turns at least a 4K profit per month. If I could do that, I think I'd be on the right track. I'm just saying, I just think I'll be on the right track. So I'm hoping. I'll keep you posted. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up today. I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and I want to thank you very much. And the transcribes, by the way, call me Matt Morgan. Whatever. It's Mad, M-A-D. Yeah, I get that right. It's Mad Morgan, M-A-D-M-O-R-G-A-N. Yes, Mad Morgan. And you can find me and more information at themadmorgan.com. Next to that, hey, keep your integrity in check. Do the right thing. Educate yourself. Be a better person. You know, it's a domino effect, my friends. Domino effects. Just, you know, influence people in the right direction. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. You're listening. This has been an episode of Car Musings, and I will see you next episode. Ciao for now. Bye for now. I'll talk to you soon.